Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with my Grab 5 challenge for the DAFFY Cybercrop. And I really apologize that I can't be there with you in person. These days my schedule is dictated by my son's work and travel schedule and my sister's schedule in Louisiana. And she asked last time I talked with her, and many of you know that Patrice is in a group home situation in Louisiana, and because Georgia's kind of far away and I don't have my my travel buddy with me, it's not as easy for me to get there to see her as often. So she's available. She wanted to go to a baseball game. She's never been to a Houston Astros, never been to a professional baseball game. Don't know if she's ever been to even a college baseball game. She's very familiar with LSU's baseball team. She wanted to see LSU, but I thought it would be easier to get to get to an Astros game. It's right, the stadium's right over where I used to live in Houston, and I haven't been back there and hung around downtown for a while, so she and I are gonna stay a couple days in downtown Houston and have a grand old time. And I'm gonna try to maybe do a live while I'm there. I'll try to coordinate a time with Adam that doesn't interrupt anyone else's time on the schedule. And I'll just say hi and give you a chance to meet Patrice. So what my Grab 5 is, and you can see already that I'm going to use one of Lisa's sketches. This is the Scrap-A-Sketch Fall, and I think it's sketch number 9. What I'm asking for in my Grab 5 is a pattern paper background, some of your oldest stash plus something from your newest stash, an envelope, and I have to admit that I've bought 3 envelope dies, different shapes and sizes, and was very disappointed when Calvin Ball didn't ask for an envelope. So I've been dying to use one of my newer envelope dies. So that's gonna be fun. Border strip, and that can be from, and the envelope could be an envelope that you've gotten and you have a photo sticking out of it, or it could be a sticker that has an envelope on it, or it could be, I know that a lot of the collections lately have envelopes with flowers coming out of them. So an envelope, any way, shape, or form you want to do one. A border strip, same thing, could be a sticker off a sticker sheet, or it could be something you've punched. And I punched this a million years ago out of this kind of leathery black glitter paper. So I'm going to use that. And paper alphas. I don't know about you, but I have some fonts and colors in paper alphas that I love. But because I like thickers and there are all these pre-made titles that come with every collection, I'm using those instead. So I've pulled out a paper alpha set. It's from Cocoa Vanilla. And oddly enough, I was inspired by Cocoa Vanilla's, the things that come with all their collections that have they're like titled things, and they've got a dark color. Sometimes it's navy, sometimes it's black, or sometimes it's gray inside of a really wide white border. So what I've done is I put my alphas for part of my title here on white paper, and I'm going to fussy cut around it. So that ought to be fun. But first, let's talk about the pattern papers. I don't know if any of you remember Hambly screen prints, or Hambly screen prints. I always call them Hambly because this title strip on here the H looks like an M. I'm going to cut the strip off here. But they made some of the most gorgeous and intriguing papers. And I have two different kinds of their papers today for this page. This one is one that's printed on a, I don't even know what to describe this. It's like silk. It has a silk finish or a satin finish. And it has a slight sheen, and there's no texture or raised, anything raised about the printed leaves on here. The only difference is they don't have any sheen. So the orange background has a sheen, but they don't. Then this is another sheet, and I will show you the scraps I have from it, and I will tell you right now that I'm not throwing these scraps away. It actually, it actually hurt me physically to cut into this paper. It is a really dark, heavily textured matte finish purple with a silver spider web. And you can kind of see that's probably not where it joined up, probably somewhere there. But I cut an 8 by 8 square out of it to have this diamond shape in the center of my layout. And I'm going to go ahead and unashamedly use this purple paper on top of this orange and black, because I'm thinking these leaves look enough like bats. Not that I'm trying to make them look like bats or anything of the sort. It's just that they evoke that bat's kind of feel. And like I said, my border strip is kind of, I honestly don't know. I think I may have cut this with, because I don't have a die that does this. I must have cut it on with something on my Cricut, or later on my, let's see, I'm looking for something, because I have, on the same day, I actually did this one, and I'm going to use this one on another page. I have no idea, but they've been lying around in my stash for way too long. I have two more photos besides the photo I'm going to use. I have these two photos, and I'm going to put them on a different page using some of the same supplies. So I'll kind of put those off to the side here. Let me get some other things out of the way. I've already showed you the alpha, and I've pulled the letters I need from there, so that goes away. I fussy cut some owls from this trick or treat paper from Bella Blvd called Happy Owlween. And it's a great little paper, and I'm going to fussy cut every single one of those and use them for Halloween layouts for the rest of my life. This is a paper from Color Study, and I absolutely love it. I keep it in my Halloween stash because of the colors, but also in this case, I'm going to use, I fussy cut a few of these because this is a page about John, and he loves sunflowers, and these aren't exactly sunflowers, but the colors are there, and it's close enough. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This is the little envelope die that I got. It's a scrapbook.com die. So I'm going to close it up and do this. And then I'm going to leave it open and have it anchor this cluster. And yeah, the colors don't match at all, but it's Halloween, and when you go out trick-or-treating, you get all sorts of colorful things. This guy I stamped on this wavy paper probably in 2011 or 12, and I didn't like it well enough to use it on the cards I was making at the time, but I kept it in my Halloween stash for a very long time, obviously. So I think I'm going to use it here, maybe along with some of the owls. As for paper alphas, in addition to those kind of paper alphas that I showed you, I've got these, and you can tell how old they are by what bad shape they're in. And I have to be very careful handling this because they peel off and come off. So my title is gonna be gonna have some of these as well as those. And I'm just gonna kind of put this off to the side so I can reach it later. This is the backing of some stickers. There were some stickers on here, and this is the shiny side, but they're kind of creepy enough as they are that I thought I might kind of add them to this little thing. I'll put maybe 2 on this side right here, and the rest of these, what is that, 5 on this side. And there's the rest of the stuff I'm going to use. Well, I thought I would use this as a backing to my photo, but unless it's over the orange, it doesn't really show. So maybe I could use it. I'm going to maybe cut it in 2 pieces. If I have it sideways like that, let's see, I could do that. I'm just gonna eyeball cut it without my trimmer. And I know I didn't get that straight, but if I do it like this, and then kind of have this maybe at an angle like that underneath this cluster, that's also one of my oldest bits of stash, as is this. This was a piece of Flair. I would have said I didn't own any Flair, but this must have come with some collection, and by the image on it, I'm going to say it's Doodlebug, and it's kind of, it's old, but I'm going to use it anyway. These are fresh Dotty About Flair flares, and they are not brand new, but they were from last fall's collection. And there's a little raccoon here, one of the critters, and John and I had a raccoon story. We had raccoons that got into our attic in one of our homes, the one in the Woodlands, and they were a real problem. I thought they were adorable, and one of them had babies, and she'd bring the babies out on our deck in the framework of our deck, so you could we could be sitting on our deck looking up at the framework and see the mom and her babies peeking out over the rafters. Not a good thing to have in your house at all, and I'm just a sucker for cute little critters. So we called an animal control service, and they lent us some traps humane traps, and we caught them. We put them out there with peanut butter in them, which is, they apparently like peanut butter as much as I do. And as we trap them, we'd take a ride out into the country and we'd put them someplace. We just driving a little bit north from where we lived was a town called Conroe that was built on a lake that actually was part of the, I think it was part of our city's water system. And it was a really beautiful area, and it had some really nice wooded areas with access to the water and the shelter of the woods. So it was going to be a nice home for them. I didn't fussy cut this ahead of time because I kind of wanted you to see what I was doing, but so I guess it's a good time to tell the raccoon story. So anyway, we probably rehomed maybe 20 raccoons. As soon as we get rid of one, I think the word spread through the neighborhood that they could drink from our pool. So they had water, and apparently they, I'm not sure what they ate. Geez, I hate to think even. But when we went to sell our house and we had an inspection, they found evidence that one of the raccoons that we had trapped must have been the mother of some brand new babies, because the brand new babies were not in good shape up in the attic. So, okay, I kind of like how that looks, and I like with the white, these white guys here. Okay, so I'm going to put some foam on the back of the photo so that I can tuck things in and around. Let me get the black border strip anchored down, and I'm going to do it right at the, let's see, let's get that out of the way. Right at the area, at the center, kind of crossing there. But I haven't got it exactly straight here. Okay. I'm going to call that good enough for government work. And I'll do this. I'm just going to put it here where it breaks the line, and it allows this center part to be seen. And I'm not going to embellish there. I'll embellish down here and up here. Okay, now this, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive on the corner that's not going to show. And I'll put it down there. And all it is just it's an acetate overlay that has like a typewriter font of all the letters in the alphabet just repeated over and over. There's no particular theme to it, but it's kind of cool. Okay, and you know what I did here? I put that up above, and I don't really want it there. I want it down on the black part so that the glittery black cardstock will show through the eyes. And I'll do this one the same way. And I'm gonna put this one under here, same way with some adhesive on the part that's not gonna show. And I'll kind of do that. And this is gonna go here. I think I'm gonna put foam. Let me put my sketch over here. I'll put some foam tape behind it. And where's my little, where did my little creepy guy go? Huh? Did I lose him? Oh, here he is. I needed some foam tape on him too. And let me actually just use one of these up around his head. And then I'm gonna tuck him in here, kind of a little bit at an angle there, and then I can tuck some things in there. Like, for example, a flower, maybe. I think I'll put one flower here on the photo. And then I will stack these others. Well, I'll put this one here, kind of coming out of the envelope. It's not really coming out of the envelope much. Let me cut a little bit off. And then it looks like it's coming out of the envelope. And this other one I'm going to use up here, and I will mount it on the photo also. There we go. And I have, let's put this old Flair maybe peeking out of the envelope as well. Let's do the title, you know. The title is not going to be scary. It's going to be not so scary. So I think maybe, let me glue this down. Those are old alphas, I guess. Okay. I can use it right here, and I'm going to put some foam on it. I should have cut a strip of this beforehand. Let's see what I need here. It can go there and there, and that should hold it up. I'm going to put this over here on the top of that S. I noticed on those other paper alphas that I'm using that they're not black and white, they're navy and white. But I won't tell if you won't. I think they're going to be close enough. So let's do, and I'm probably going to need some glue to hold these down because they're not sticking on their sheet, although they stuck together there. So hopefully I have the right letters. I'm gonna do this kind of, you know, at wonky angles. And let's see, yes, there's a T. And it's a perfect title because he was the opposite of scary. He was so cute. I cut this bow out of a where's the out of a piece of cardboard, and then I covered it with fabric from a pillowcase, and the colors just went so well with the shirt he has on, which is a Hawaiian shirt that had parrots on it. That was actually my dad's shirt. I had bought it for him when he was in the hospital right before he died. So I kept it and wore it for a while, and then John wore it. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Well, let's leave that. That's my least. That's the Flair. I think I might not. I might want to use the least. I'm not sure that that's coming out right. This needs some help sticking, I think. So I'm going to go with some glue there. And that'll hold down my little crazy guy there. I'm going to put the critter kind of right here, and I'm going to do 2 layers of foam so that it can be peeking up over the photo there. There we go. That's so cute. And let's see which owl I want to use. I want one here, and I'd like one kind of right in here and one up here. I think I'll put this mostly black one up here because it's on an orange background. And I've got this orange one that'll look good right there because it's on the striped background and the flowers. Make sure all of that's in frame because, you know, that's one of my strong points is getting my layouts out of frame. I've got this partial flower, which I was determined, because it's really grungy and looks Halloweenish, it looks like it might want to be used, maybe right there. Whoops. And then I'll find a place for that flare. But I want to get this in before I do the flare. Okay, and this flare can go right here. It's just stars in Halloween colors. I love it. It's because, don't you know, I love Halloween colors. That lime green and purple are my two, they compete for being my favorite colors. And orange was John's favorite, so I'm just gonna sneak this guy down here because it has that black leaf that kind of, with the orange veins, which kind of goes with that. So that's it. This was a 1983 Halloween, our first Halloween in our new home that we just built, and it was in a neighborhood that really did lots for Halloween. So it was fun, and I can do some journaling probably on the other page that I'm going to do. Whoops, I haven't put this guy actually on there. So let's do that. Okay, so it's a cute Halloween page called Not So Scary. And I'm going to put a little glue to hold this border strip down better. There we go. Okay, so have fun with the challenge. Any kind of pattern paper, subtle or bold. You can use Lisa's sketch, which is out in her Scrap-A-Sketch group in the Seasons event, and I believe it's season sketch number 9. Use a pattern paper background. Use some of your oldest and newest stash. What I'm counting as my newest stash is the Color Study flowers and the newer Flair. So my oldest stash, the old Flair, these backings, even this border strip, all of the papers are definitely old. And paper alphas, those are newer. They're from Cocoa Vanilla, and I didn't discover them until a while back. And not so scary that those alphas are some of my oldest alphas. I have no idea where these came from. I think they were part of a cut-apart sticker sheet in a class I took. And we were to use alphas, but we got to take the ones we didn't use home. And I brought them home and haven't had a really good, or haven't done anything to store them properly. So anyway, lots of purple, lots of orange, lots of black and fun here. So thanks for watching, and have fun with the cyber crop and have fun with this challenge. Bye.